said here before, when everyone was celebrating, there was a catch in those 2 wins the Warriors had so far in the season, in this year. Now, that was exposed tonight, and I can understand what else is the Warriors waiting to pull off a trade, and I have the name, and you might expect who I'm talking about, Nikola Vucevic. Stephen Curry, Steve Kerr, and Montepoole, they all comment about the game, and we're going to see here today, but it was embarrassing, and Stephen Curry agree with me.
Oh, no, I think nobody likes to get embarrassed like that, especially the way we started the first quarter. I know everybody's on a back-to-back. Obviously, I didn't play yesterday, and the Kings have a very fast-paced offense that they pretty much had every option they wanted and offensive rebounds in the first quarter. So when you're looking up and it's, a double-digit lead before the first time out and 36-21, like, we're not really built for, especially with the situation, like, to have that crazy comeback. So I don't want to overreact to it, but you also have to address, the execution that, we didn't do. Obviously, I had a couple of turnovers in the first quarter. We were gifting them possessions. So it was just kind of a mindless first quarter that established their dominance, and we had no answer for it.
Within that answer, you said you're not built kind of for the comeback. I mean,
Pay attention on
you
this.
just don't have the offensive firepower to be like a come from behind type team.
I mean, we haven't shown that. It's just one of those things where you don't want to be in that situation. Like I said, especially a back-to-back where the guys exerted a lot of energy last night to get that win. So we'd love to have started the game a lot better to give ourselves a chance and not be in that situation where we've been where, you're having to have crazy offensive fireworks to even have a chance to come back. Like, that's not our MO.
So many stuff Stephen Curry said, and I think nothing is new, right? Turnovers problem, lack of intensity, the defense side, lack of help in the offense. And you can see that he was actually putting a direct message that he needs support. The Warriors are not built to come back off any 20-point lead on the opponent because we don't have that support, and especially without JK. So again, I don't understand what is the Warriors waiting to make a trade. We need more help. We need size. We can combine those things. There is a name out there, Nikola Vucevic, that can be traded, and the Warriors have the assets to make that happen. I'm pretty sure the Bulls are willing to make that happen. Vucevic's having a career night. But let's see more about what happened with the game and why the people believe that the Warriors lost it. But the catch that I said is back-to-backs, right? We won 2 games where we were playing against teams coming from a second leg of the back-to-back. And I have said here before, I don't like when the Warriors play back-to-back, and I don't think it's fair when we play against teams in a back-to-back game as well, because it's intense. It's a professional sport. You're tired. You're not at the same pace of your opponent. And yesterday it was very clear that the Kings had a lot of more energy than the Warriors. The Warriors are the team that play the most amount of back-to-back games, or one of the most amount of back-to-back games in the last 2 years. So it's very unfair, and I don't like those. We're going to have more coming, and I always expect this kind of thing, especially second quarter. There's always a big difference of intensity. But let's see what Montepoole said about the game.
What went wrong early for the Warriors?
Turnovers. We've seen it happen before. The Warriors have been a high turnover team for years, but they seem to forget that back when they were doing that 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, they had the firepower to overcome that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, we don't have the firepower anymore. We don't have Kevin Durant, prime Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston. It's a different Warriors team right now. And the guys that I have here, some nights they show off, sometimes they don't. Look what Steve Kerr agreed basically with that. The turnover is the problem.
You had 22 turnovers. I mean, is that just where it was lost?
Yeah, that was the game to me. Just right from the start, we were turning it over. The turnovers didn't feel forced either. They felt more decision-based. And that's what was disappointing, knowing that Sacramento likes to play fast and get up and down the floor. You got to come in with a purpose, and that purpose has to be, based on connecting the game, offensive execution, taking care of the ball. That leads to transition defense, and then you can play a game. But right from the start, 36 points in the first. I don't know how many turnovers we had in that quarter, but it felt like a lot. Our transition defense was bad, and they were hot right from the beginning.
Remember that I called the Warriors the enemy of the first quarter, right? Exactly. We digged ourselves in a hole where we couldn't come back. And that was different in the other two games that we had. We got the win. So that was the problem last night. Turnovers in the first quarter, we couldn't come back. Was a big difference. You give a lot of morale and you get the other guys in an energy. The other team feels like themselves in the game and you feel down and we couldn't overcome. But the lack of firepower, it also relates to that. And looks how Curry said that we should solve this problem.
Obviously, by committee, our defense has to be our calling card. And offensively, just trying to get as organized as possible to have this, good possessions. I think we're obviously going to shoot a lot of threes and try to create good looks from three. But we got to figure out ways to get more, attacks to the rim, especially as a team that doesn't have much rim protection. Like he feasts off of that, and we got to be able to, unlock Wiggs more, unlock Moses, Cosmo get some minutes, and we just got to be a little bit more organized when the game kind of slows down.
That was a perfect game again for Vucevic. I want to see the Warriors trading for him. He shoots threes. We're going to see the stats. He could play against Sabonis in a more stronger way and defend as well. So we lacked that help a lot yesterday. And you can see here in the box score, right? We didn't have JK, which we're going to talk in a bit how long he's going to be out. And then Andrew Wiggins had an average game around what he usually does, those 20 points. But then you didn't have other support. Stephen Curry, 26 points. And that was basically wasted because other guys like Tracy Jackson, which in my opinion is becoming a problem. And that's why I don't think he has to be the starter. We need to bring a guy that can replace him. He still needs to adjust on his finishing, right? He has losing a lot of layups and plays inside the ring, which are becoming problematic for the Warriors. So this box score for me highlights a lot how much we need the help of that guy. So look at what we are trying to avoid here and my concern, and I saw this, I want to bring this to the video, the Warriors cycle, right? You pause the video for a second and take a look on this. It's like exactly what we are leaving. We lived this in the last seasons and we are leaving again. We get on that hype and then we go start losing a few games and then we do a run before All-Star game and then we don't make trades actually that are relevant and then the fan base gets disappointed and then we miss playoffs and then we think the summer is going to happen again and it doesn't. So we need to break that cycle. We need Mike Dunleavy Jr., Steve Kerr to get less attached to some players and make the trade because this is getting worse. I said here, Kuminga is out for at least 3 weeks. He's going to be reevaluated in 3 weeks and he has been our second best player right now. The one that is actually play very different from Stephen Curry, attacks the ring, athletic, the guy that goes more for the free throw line and the Warriors lineup. So it's going to be a big gap. And we need to bring a guy that can help replacing those 20 points. And that's why I'm saying we have to bring Nikola Vucevic, a center, a sizable, strong center that can shoot three and having his best career. He's on $20 million contract. And look at his stats. Look how he has a good stats that is above Kevin Looney, that's above other players that we have on the roster. And more important, look at his percentage of three-point line, 34%, 50% from field goal. He can really help. And this season has been even better. It's like this is the guy that's going to make a difference for the Warriors. He comes straight to be a starting part of the starting five. He's going to stretch the floor. He's going to give Stephen Curry something he has never really have. A little bit with DeMarcus Cousins, as I said here last video, but that would make a lot of difference. And this is the trade that I'm suggesting. I said here last video, send Gary Payton. He's not playing right now. So it's already not making a difference for the Warriors. Randy Porzingis, he was playing. He isn't playing right now. I know a lot of fan base is not really fan of how he's performing this season. He might break through in another team, but I think it's worth the trade at this point. And also make the deal a little bit sweeter for Chicago Bulls because you got to convince that. And Kevin Looney, right? Because when you bring Vucevic and you send those three players, you will open a spot that also going to be very helpful to bring Quinton Post as well and helping this guy to develop Trace Jackson. So you see like how you bring something that solves now, but you also think about the future. And that's what the Warriors needs to do. I'm going to repeat the question of the video. what is the Warriors waiting for to pull this trade? I want to see Nikola Vucevic, and I think he makes a difference for the Warriors roster and for our intent and goal of being a playoff contender. This is the schedule. So we play tomorrow against Miami. Interesting game because Miami and Warriors, they have been this connection recently because of Jimmy Butler rumors, and Miami is definitely not helped with that. As the Chase Center, the last game at home, and then we go for 4 games on the road. So the Warriors need to get that win. We need to be in the middle of that playoff contention and keep going up on the standing. Let me know. Do you agree with me? That's the move that the Warriors needs to do. Don't forget to subscribe, help the channel, and I see you tomorrow.